Hi, this is Tara Larson-Chang of TLC Workshops, and I'm talking with artists. Okay, so this is Tara Chang, still here at LXCon 2015, and I'm sitting down with the amazing Mark Scheff and Lauren Panepinto in their drawn and drafted incarnation, but also as their individual artistic and graphic-y selves. So just to give a brief introduction to people who maybe don't know you and all of the amazing things that you do.
Hello. Hi. I'm Lauren Panepinto. I am the creative director of Orbit Books, Yen Press, and Red Hook Books. So commercial fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, graphic novels, manga. That is my day job, my Clark Kent persona, or maybe my Superman persona, depending upon who you're talking to. And I also work with Mark here. A couple of years ago, we put our heads together with a few other art directors, and we started putting out art business educational resources under the umbrella of Drawn and Drafted. Also started a few projects. Mark started a project called Everyday Original, which is a format that puts up a small original piece of work every day from a number of artists for sale. All kinds of cool projects, you know.
Yeah, we did, I think a month ago, 2 months ago, we started Dear Art Director, which is a Tumblr blog where we have about a dozen different art directors on there, and it's all anonymous, and you can ask questions anonymously. And we're getting a lot of really, really great questions from the art community, and we're getting a lot of really honest answers from the art directors, and a lot of really fun animated GIFs. But I'm Mark, and I'm an illustrator, I'm an illustrator by trade, and I'm doing a lot of personal work right now, which is what I'm showing here. But I don't know if that's my Clark Kent or my Superman, but the other stuff I do, I used to do a bunch of art direction, and sort of now I do most of that for Drawn and Drafted and for Everyday Original, where I sort of manage the artist stable and keep the site going. What else can I tell you? Yeah, we did the art director.
The boot camps were here at LXCon. We just gave.
Oh, right.
Oh, sorry.
The other giant project we just launched.
Yeah. Well, the last couple of years at conventions like Spectrum and LXCon, we've been holding art business boot camps for artists, just kind of collating all the information. We have a couple of them, one about self-promo and getting yourself out there, one about portfolios and portfolio reviews and websites, and one about contracts and rights and money and things. And it's stuff that, generally art schools really don't teach artists. They get very little business in school. I got very little business in school. And it's really critical to having a strong career. So we see it as like a support, to all of the technique learning that goes on.
Absolutely. I think one thing that's unique about the boot camps, and I think the thing we're also supposed to talk about is the fact that we're about to.
Right. So I was gonna say the purpose of this is to tell about the new exciting thing you're launching.
So what we've seen, we've seen a lot of really great stories and great successes out of the individual boot camps, but we keep getting the question like, how can I kind of get some of that if I can't get to a LuxCon?
Right, because mostly you've only been doing them at conventions so far.
We've been doing them live, and that was always, like we put up the PDFs, which is a bit of a cheat sheet, but still it's difficult sometimes for people to sort of take that and try to apply it to their own work, their own business. And we found that the in-person stuff is where people can ask their questions and really get. Even just yesterday we were giving a boot camp and getting some questions, and people saying. We sort of give an answer and kind of go, oh, is that okay? And they're like, that you just changed my website. Like you just changed I now know how to write, to my mailing list. I know how to grow a fan base. All this stuff that's so important as a freelance artist. And truthfully, a lot of this stuff is universal. Like I've heard from people who don't necessarily do this kind of genre art, but they're doing, comic book art or graphic design. All of these things. These are sort of business fundamentals that we just don't get in art school. So we're going to be offering this course. Punchline Online, and if you go to artbusinessbootcamp.com, you can read about it. And I don't know when you're posting this, but the registration will probably be open by the time you post this. Just the page is up now.
Yeah, I'm hoping to cross fingers we can get this done as soon as I get home. So hopefully early next week.
Okay.
Is that
we will be opening registration pretty much right after our LuxCon, and what we're doing is we're focusing on two of the major boot camps, and we're going to be giving people not just the videos with the lectures and the PDFs, but we're also going to be developing a series of homework assignments so that And that's the thing that we keep. There's so much theory, and then it's like, yeah, but what specifically do I do?
How do I really apply it to my own art career?
So I know that you want to be polite, but what does that actually look like? What do you actually say? So we're going to be putting a lot of that into the homework, so people can go and look at their work, their websites, their networks, their fan base, and really take a look and take stock. And
they can write scripts that they can use again, and we'll critique, like, how do you approach an art director? What's the polite way to reply when there's a problem? Feedback, communication, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to another artist yesterday just about a strategy for growing a fan base, and there's so many great examples out there, and there's so much great theory, but it's another thing to say, okay, what you should now, looking at your work, what you should do is this. So we're going to be doing that with the homework, but the other thing that we're going to be doing, which is really kind of what made this a thing that we wanted to do, is that we're going to be doing live interactive question-answer sessions, and we're going to make them longer and extended, and we're actually going to do more than one for each of our sections on getting found and getting hired, so that people can watch the videos, do the homework, come to session 1 with lots of questions, and then get their answers, go and try to put it in action, and then come back the next week to ask their follow-ups. And then we're going to do that. We're going to do that for each section, so that people have lots of opportunities to get their specific question answered. And it's funny because the people sometimes are shy away, and they say, oh, this is a question that's really just about my work. It's not. It's so many people are like coming. I'm really glad that person asked that question, because I didn't want to ask it, or I was being shy, or whatever.
What's nice about the Q&As too is it's really pooling the resources, and that's another aspect of what we're building. We're building a Facebook community group that everybody that goes through the program can pool their resources.
A private Facebook group.
So you can ask questions, pool resources, ask really specific questions that are, require longer answers sometimes than you can just find on social media, things like that. Even on Dear Art Director, we're trying to keep it as general as possible to apply to as many people as possible. But, in this community, you can ask really specific questions, get really specific feedback, stuff like that.
Yeah, so. It is true that during the Q&As, we were getting a lot of, I had forgotten the name of a law firm in New York, and some guy in the audience remembered it, and that's the kind of thing that happens. And that was another thing that we were saying, if we just put out videos, you're not going to get that, synergy, and sort of pooling of knowledge, like as Lauren says, for the community. So, we're doing the Q&As, which will be one format, but then people will be a part of this community for, as long as Facebook lasts, I guess, and then we'll have to find something else. But
we can move it back to Friendster.
Yeah, Friendster and Tribe. Anybody who remembers Tribe? No, nobody lived you were in the West Coast. You remember Tribe? So that community is going to be a really important part of that, and we want to grow this community with people who are dedicated to their craft enough to really take it seriously as a business.
And anybody who's been at one of these conventions and attended one of your boot camps knows how chock full of really straightforward, good information they are, and how willing you guys are to be blunt and straightforward with all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, it's been great for me too, because there's people now are coming to us with resources that they're that they want to put in our brains so that we can share with people, and it's really been nice, like your workshops, which are great, and we're going to be putting on our sites. So.
Yeah, what I kind of love under the Drawn and Drafted umbrella, there's one of the things that makes this portion of the sci-fi, the sci-fi fantasy illustration scene like so much warmer than any other scene is just people's willingness to contribute and give back and to form community. And as we've been telling people in the community that we've respected, like your workshops and Rebecca Gay's IMC and Smart School and things like that, and Bobby's schoolism and things, we've been so impressed by, or just so welcomed by everybody. Like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we've been doing. We see it as like a module and an add-on to a lot of the technique learning and the actual art learning going on. And, let's work together. And everybody just kind of like, just looking at the logos that are on the page as the support network, it's wonderful because it's a one-stop shop. Like if you're an artist, and whether you've been to art school or not, and you want to learn anything about illustration or even design, you go to that page and you see those logos there, and that's a whole education right there. You
can go to our webpage and just Google all those people and go get an art education. But and what you're talking about, it's funny. Rebecca calls it the Big Ten philosophy. Mm-hmm. We're all in this Big Ten. We're all living together. We're all sharing stuff, and we all have to survive together. And so that's why we're doing this. Because we had to do it for ourselves, and we're learning more every day along with everybody else, and we're just sharing it back.
And also, selfishly, it just makes an art director's job easier when the artists know about art business, and that's where I came into the scene. That's why originally the original idea behind these boot camps was, we get the same questions over and over and over again. Let's just all write them down on a piece of paper so that people can ask like the level 2 questions. Let's get all of level 1 down on paper so people can ask the level 2 questions, and and pool all our resources. And all the art directors were using it as a reference sheet, and then it just blossomed into everything else.
Well, I know TLC Workshops is very excited to be able to support and promote what you were doing, because I think it's awesome. So, yay. So, any last words? Anything else you want to add?
Last words?
Last words sound so funny.
Pamplemousse. I really like the word pamplemousse. Pamplemousse. It's French for grapefruit. Yeah, it's a great word. It's always been a favorite. Yeah.
Okay, good final word. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you taking some time out from today to fill us in more.
Thanks for talking to us.
Looking forward to seeing more. So,
all right.
Thanks.
Thank you.